Alright, back right on the beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Spoetzl Brewery, and they are out of Shiner, Texas, and this is their Shiner Oktoberfest, the 2024 release. So this is a Märzen-style Oktoberfest that comes in at 5.7% alcohol by volume, 18 IBUs at the time of review. I don't know exactly how old this bottle is, but on their website, they do mention this is a seasonal from August to October, like most Oktoberfest beers. And on Instagram, on August 13th, they did post that this is now available. So taking all of that into consideration, this is relatively fresh, and I would guess it's no older than about 2.5, 3 months old at the time of review, and it's probably a bit fresher than that, probably under 2 months old. Anyway, I have wanted to try this one the last couple years, just didn't pick it up. I've had a bunch of different Shiner beers. I've reviewed a handful on the channel, never picked up their Oktoberfest for whatever reason. So this year, I thought I would grab it, and I'm reviewing 5 beers during the official Oktoberfest celebration in Munich, Germany. This is one of the 5, and I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. So 5.7%, 18 IBUs, it's Shiner. Hopefully it's quite tasty. We will see. So throw this over here and give it a pour into the mug and see how it goes. Try to get an aggressive pour here so we get a little bit more of a head. Yeah, that looks nice in the glass, honestly. Throw this over here like that, and yeah, let's get a nice look at this. So the clarity is fantastic. This has like an amber kind of orange color, you could say maybe even into copper. Has almost like a basically like an amber kind of a beer look to it, but it almost looks like melted down like toffee or something. Clarity's through the roof. You can see my hand, you can make out my fingers. Had about I'd say a 1.5 finger of this off-white, almost bone white colored head. It is about a half finger now, dissipating. Hold it up to a light. Yeah, the clarity's fantastic. I mean, that looks like a Märzen. This is a Märzen you see from a lot of American breweries, and yeah, it plays the role. Let's get a nose. Nice. So it has a nice kiss of sweetness in the nose. Has a big breadiness to it, like almost like a slightly toasted dark bread, but not like super like rich and like a deep dark bread, like not to that level, but like kind of in between like a white bread and like a dark bread, like kind of a hybrid, kind of like a marble bread. I would say, I think. It's maybe a smidge of like a caramel, toffee, like sweeter note. Orchard fruit, apple, like a red apple skin. And just a little bit of like a floral grassiness as well. Yeah, I mean, it smells pretty much to style. I mean, it's not wowing me as far as like a nose of an Oktoberfest beer, certainly the Märzen style, or the Märzen, Märzen style. But it's in that realm where it's like, yeah, this is definitely an Oktoberfest beer. Smells pretty nice, doesn't smell like it's going to be overly sweet or taste overly sweet. Nice, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Prost. Damn solid. That's nice. What I like about it does have a richness to the malt character, yet remains quite drinkable because there's a nice, like full-on dry finish to this one with a little bit, like a kiss of like this floral, spicy grassiness. But this is like medium body, perfect for a 5.7% Märzen-style Oktoberfest. The mouthfeel, while having a nice crispness to it, this is like lower side of moderate carbonation. It does have a somewhat smooth and almost creamy sensation on the palate as well. The taste, again, kind of that marble bread where you get some white, some darker bread. That hits me right at the forefront. The caramel and toffee didn't carry over as much. It almost has like a very slight honey sweetness, more so than like caramel or toffee. Very minute. Passes through that orchard fruit, a little bit of like a red apple skin, maybe even a touch of like a pear. A very mild fruitiness, not over the top or anything, but it's more apple than anything. And then on the finish, it has a floral, grassy, slight spiciness. This is not huge on the hop character, but there's enough hop character to kind of balance out the good malty sweetness at the forefront. The savior of this beer, which really makes it balance, is the dryness. This is full on dry. As we're sitting here and talking, my mouth is devoid of saliva. I want to go back in for another sip. This is really nice. And, I say that almost surprised. I mean, Shiner is one of the bigger craft breweries in the US. I think last year in the Brewers Association, like top 50 breweries in terms of like production, they were number 5. So I kind of put them in the same realm as like a Yingling, Boston or Boston Lager, Boston Lager from Sam Adams, but Sam Adams in general. They're a bigger brewery and usually a great price point, and sometimes their beers are hit or miss. Like the Shiner Box, a classic, I really dig that beer. Some of their other seasonals haven't been for me. This, however, I think is really nice for what it is. I'm not losing my shit over it, but there's a couple key things when it comes to Oktoberfest and certainly Märzen's. I like them to have more of a richer kind of bready malt character, but they also have to be balanced to some degree. This has that firm dryness and a little bit of hop character, not overly sweet, not overly bitter, not overly dry. It's pretty well balanced. It's a nice beer. The flavors aren't, dare I say, bombastic. Shout out to Paul over at Brew News, or like in my face or anything crazy, but comparing it to like the last beer I had, which was Gang's beer, their Octoma Gang, that one missed the mark for me personally. Like it was fine as a beer, but stylistically nothing near something like this. This is very simple, classic, and that's kind of what you want from this style. At least that's what I want. So 5.7%, you really can't tell. You could drink quite a few of these and start feeling good. It's a really nice beer. It's, again, not my favorite or anything within the style, but I think for what it is, I'm going to give it a pretty solid score. So Shiner's Oktoberfest, the 2024 release, I'm going to go low 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 3.9 out of 5. You know what? 3.95 out of 5. Why? Because numbers, and they don't matter. But this is definitely a nice value, I'll say nice value Oktoberfest, because when we talk about price point availability, this is really nice for that. All right, so price point availability. I bought a single, like I usually do. Is that a hair or something? There might be. I usually buy a single of everything I review on the channel, like 95% of the stuff I review. I forget what I paid for this. I think I might have gotten it at a Mix 6 location at a local Wegmans grocery store. It's either that or I bought a single, but definitely under $2 for a single, because 6-packs are $9.99 in my area, which is great. That's on the level of, again, the cheaper craft breweries. So for $9.99 a 6-pack, you could do much worse, and I think this is actually a great value beer for that price point. And availability at Shiner, I have no idea with Shiner, where they probably distroed to probably like 15, 20, 25, 30 states. Hit up their website. I'm sure they have a beer finder. I do know here in the Buffalo, New York area, we get their Bach, and then we get typically their seasonals, which is why this showed up. So listen, again, this is not going to be my favorite Oktoberfest of this year. I mean, already this year, Nevada collaboration is my favorite after the first 3, but you could do, again, much worse than this one. It's, again, very well balanced, pretty tasty, and I would have no issues drinking this at any time. And this might be something I would return to if I was unfamiliar with, say, a certain beer or bottle shop, and say I'm drinking there, I'm like, man, I want Oktoberfest, and I see this, I would be like, yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to get it on draft. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section, let me know what you thought about it. I know a lot of you out there have had Shiner before. I think this rivals, for me personally, like Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I know a lot of people love that beer. Here's a little bit of a hot take, and not a hot take anymore because I don't think they make it, or they haven't brewed it in the last couple of years, but Sam Adams Fest beer is better than their Oktoberfest. That's my opinion. That Fest beer from Sam Adams was fantastic. This I like just as much as the Oktoberfest from Sam Adams, and the price point's probably $1 or $2 cheaper in my neck of the woods. So, to each their own, but I would love to hear what you think about this one, where you place it. Do you think it's a good value Oktoberfest? Is it one of your favorites? Do you hate it? Whatever. Comment section. Like I said, 5.7%, you really can't tell. It's a really well-made, easygoing beer. Very clean on the palate, too. A very clean beer. Yeah, very clean. So yeah, I'm going to shut this one down. Got a couple more Oktoberfest before the celebration ends, and I can't wait to get into them. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one, cheers, Prost.